Sweet karma for insufferable Trump lawfare architect Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York. James is in serious trouble tonight. Earlier this week, a criminal referral submitted to Pam Bondi's Department of Justice by the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which found that New York's AG stated a newly purchased Virginia home was her primary residence while she was working in Manhattan 5 days a week. That's tough to justify. A claim that likely gave her a better interest rate, which is fraud, something she taught us all about. FHFA also claims James lied about the number of units in her 5-family Brooklyn townhouse to get a better interest rate as well. Also fraud. James claimed her father was her husband to secure another cheaper loan. And there are also allegations of campaign finance violations for spending New York taxpayer money to fly private on bougie campaign trips. A lot of stuff in this. James has been hiding from the media for the past couple of days, but last night she ran to a trusted bootlicker in New York local news for an interview. Take a listen.
They're saying that your house in Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, you know, as any good attorney, I will not litigate this case in a camera. It's important that we will respond to these allegations at the appropriate time and in an appropriate way. But I will not go back and forth with respect to these baseless allegations.
Yeah. I don't want to go back and forth because they're not baseless, because it's documents with her name on it, because it's so obvious, right? But in time, she's going to respond. Right. Much like her office's statement from earlier this week, there is no denial. There's just a lot of empty rhetoric. Here is more.
The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray.
Immigrants, women. She's the worst actress you've ever seen. You gag when you see her talk. She won't discuss anything because there's really nothing to discuss, of course. These are all documents that she signed. The proof appears to be undeniable. We spoke earlier this week with the man that dug it all up, of course, and last night James admitted that the Virginia home that she claimed as her primary residence while she was New York's Attorney General was in fact being inhabited right now by her own family members, which explains why the occupant was so rude to 2 Daily Caller reporters who arrived simply to ask a few questions.
The driveway.
Hello there, ma'am.
No comment, you're trespassing.
No comment?
Yeah, you're trespassing.
Okay, well, who lives here?
You're trespassing.
Who lives here, ma'am?
No comment.
Got worse than that, too. Why so angry, I wonder? Maybe because she knows that she's the benefactor of one of Tish James' multiple alleged real estate schemes. How many people do you know keep a no trespassing sign in their front yard? There's actually 2 of those in that yard. There's one there, and then there's another one on the light pole. Tish James' niece apparently needs 2 no trespassing signs in the front yard of a house in a neighborhood. Here's a little more from last night's interview.
I was under the impression by all of this that what they were really looking for is what they got, which is a headline saying, Tish James is under a criminal investigation. Is that pretty much what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what they got. That's what they got. And it's unfortunate that you have some of these right-wing conservative individuals who are camped out in front of my home and in front of the homes of my relatives in Virginia, harassing them each and every day. It is nothing more than a headline, nothing more than, again, retaliation against all of the actions that I have taken successfully against Donald Trump.
She's complaining. She wants sympathy because her family's being harassed. I mean, how rich, how unbelievably rich. And this isn't retaliation, Tish. You're sleeping in the bed that you made. The Wall Street Journal editorial board calling it the lawfare boomerang. Her civil prosecution of Mr. Trump for overvaluing his assets was a weak case in which there was no real victim. Again, the bank testified on Trump's behalf, but she kept saying no one is above the law. She pushed it as hard as she could. Exactly. They prosecuted Trump for a tactic that's been used by every single developer in this city maximizing asset valuations. Everybody does it, but they didn't go after anyone but him. It was so egregious he won the election, largely based off of it. It was so insane, the governor of this state had to go on the radio to calm the nerves of other New York developers, basically saying that this was only about Trump. Don't worry.
I think that this is really an extraordinarily unusual circumstance, that the law-abiding and rule-following New Yorkers who are business people have nothing to worry about because they're very different than Donald Trump and his behavior.
Yeah, they're very different, Kathy. They're not running for president against the establishment government of the United States. As Tish James built this ridiculous case against Trump, documents indicate she was actively engaging in real estate fraud herself and had plenty more in her past. Think about what kind of person, what kind of a sociopath can put this case together knowing this about herself. This isn't revenge on Tish James. This is justice. She's about to be swallowed by the trap that she created herself. And now she's blaming us. She's blaming conservative media for all this, saying it's all just a ruse. The man who dug all this up, Sam Antar, former fraudster turned fraud investigator, clearly stating on X, no one paid me, no one hired me, no one told me what to say or do. There's no political angle, just the public record and your own signatures. So let's be absolutely clear. The allegations against you are not baseless. And for the record, complaints about Tish James' Brooklyn home scam had been pouring in long before Trump even went on trial. New York Times reporting this. Her neighbors knew the attorney general was scamming the system. They were reporting her to the city. It's been happening for a while. For now, though, Tish James remains defiant.
I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
Yeah, no one's above the law, huh? She says she's not going anywhere. She's throwing a fundraiser for herself next week.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax.